Now, so we have entered we've put our fugal, our invention motive right here, and we have now made it in its own imitation. So now, what are we going to write against its imitation? What if we had, say for example, we have this gap. Now, what if we began to fill this gap in here? Maybe with 16th notes. Sol, la, sol, la, si, do. Let's keep it going. Re, si, mi, re, do. Something like that now. So let's listen to how that goes. Kind of pretty, right? Works out. We've got lots of parallel thirds and parallel sixths, which is what we want to see in invertible counterpoint inventions. Right? So notice that I have gone here, selected this. I'm going to do the same here for making slurs. Select it, hit S, hit space, hit space. Various ways to do everything in Sibelius. Very handy program. So now we've got a little bit of invention. How about we have a listen? There we go, and we're off and running, right? Now, why don't we keep our imitation going? So let's have this all happen here. So I can select all of this, right? May as well select all of that, no big deal. Just by shift clicking. Click here, and then hit shift, and then click somewhere in the white part of this measure, and there we go. Look, I can now go here. I can do something even faster. I can go right to this place. I can hit Option, and just click, doop, and there it is. It has all appeared. It's now stretched out things a little bit. Sibelius has respaced things for us, but that's okay. It's also put it in up an octave. We want it down an octave, so what's the shortcut? Command, down arrow, down an octave. So now listen to what we have. Right, and we're off and running. So our imitation goes on and on. I'm a little bit unsatisfied with this opening. I think that this opening deserves some kind of a counter subject kind of music going on here. I just want to accompany it here. I'm thinking of doing something like this. So, La, 8th note, Do sharp, and then Mi, oops, no, I want to rest there. Click that note and then turn it into a rest by clicking rest over here. Mi, do, Mi sharp. Now I want another Mi sharp down an octave, so I'll hit it there, but then I'll drop at the octave with the command shift. Now listen, a little more lively at the opening. Okay. Now, when you're no longer writing and you want to stop adding notes by clicking in places, you can hit escape, and it will make sure that your arrow here is no longer blue. It will turn it black. You sometimes need to hit escape more than once to do that. Let me go, before I go too far, let me save this file. Very important. Command S to save brings up the save window, or you can go up here. I'm going to save it as Invention so that we have it. Don't want to lose it. Don't forget to save your work, right? We put some work into this. Look how Sibelius is already giving us measure numbers. Look at that. Look, this is a work for piano. Most typical game piano scores, you don't have the word piano written there. You just have the grand staff. So I can just go and delete those and delete them for all the subsequent ones. As I add more measures, the new measures now don't say piano in front of them either. Look, I added a bunch of measures. There's a shortcut for that too, for adding one measure at a time or a bunch of measures. So here we are. It's starting to look like a piece of music. Now, by measure 3, we have this blank spot here as well, right? I think we want to keep the motion going there. So I want to keep those 16th notes going there. I also want to, why not come back to our motive? So what if I went do, do, si, la, sol, la, mi. So in essence, what I've done is I've taken this as the real motive and said this is just sort of an introduction. This la is an introduction in the motive, and that's why it's dotted. La, la, sol, la, mi. La, la, sol, la, mi. And so that la is not a true part of the motive. It's kind of decorative, really, in a way. And the true motive is la, sol, la, mi. And so we put that motive up here, right? So, do, la, sol, la, mi. We can do that. We can also do something like this. Because we might want to vary it at this point. Da, 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 la, sol, la, si, sol. Oh, sorry. Si, sol, mi, sol, la. That's kind of interesting. Si, sol, la, si, do, re, si, mi, re, do. And si, sol, mi, sol, la. Okay, keep the sound of it in your head. It's really helpful. Oh, I want to emphasize that this is related to my motive by going like this, making it slurred. I also want, let's make this staccato as well, to keep the identity of that motive kind of going. So now look, I've made this new part of the motive. I like this bum, 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 bum. That's going to accompany things rather nicely. Look, how we've made this imitation there, this imitation there. So we're imitating a bar. We're being very, very strict up to this point, which I think is rather cool. In that case, since we're being really strict, let me select it. And let me just do it again right here. Option, click. Oops. Option, click. Boom, there it is. Drop it the octave. So, at this point, I think that we're going to say that let's take this part of it and drop this part of it a further octave. So now we're keeping it well within the range. Now let's listen. So it's really kind of a fun little invention because we've got the motive coming back over and over and over again. It's a very strict invention. It's really not straying very far from A at this point, which is kind of fun, right? Because now is when we want to begin our move. Why don't we go to mi? So why don't we say la. Let's say we're going la, sol, fa, mi, re. Now let's go to do, just to finish things off there. Do. Now, maybe now do. What's the note we need to go to mi? We need to go to re sharp instead of re. We need to go to re sharp, mi. So we need our leading tone. So let's say 1, 2, and then on here we're going to go to re sharp. So I'll select the sharp, and then I'll click the re on my keyboard, the D on my keyboard to get that note. Do, re, and then we want to go to our mi. I don't know what. Let's rhythmicize this now. So let's go. What if instead of just ordinary do sharp re mi, we went do. Let's tie it to a 16th note. Do, la, si, do. Let's ornament this a little further too. Re, mi, do, re. Oops, sorry, I messed it up. Re, mi, do, re, mi. And now we work very convincingly there. Let's ornament this a little bit too. La, si, la, oh sorry, la, si, do, si, do. So we've gone from a root position la to a first inversion la, and then we see our la change. So we get this, listen. Oops, again. Now, what is going to happen right here when we make it to mi? What's the most obvious thing to have happen here? Let's have the original right-hand motive now appear in the left hand. So let's go mi, oops, let's make it lower. Mi, mi, re, oh, re sharp. I need to make this re sharp, so I will use the arrow to go back to it. Now it's selected with the sharp, so now it's sharp. Now I'll use the arrow to go back to there. And now I can hit my E on the keyboard. C, so mi, re, mi, si. Now, how can we get from, I want to connect this better to there. Do, look, if we just go 16th notes all the way down, we'll arrive there just in time. So, do, la, si, do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, mi. So we'll accent this. This. So it looks just like it, and we, so hopefully it will stand out in the texture now. Now, what's going on here, let's make it happen here. We can even do this if we really want to get crazy. I can just take this and copy and paste it. Oops, sorry, no. Take this and Option click here. Now note that it's in A and it's way down too low, but we can raise it up to Mi. And then I can raise it an octave. Okay, so now we may need to correct accidentals because we changed the key, but there wasn't a re in here, so we're just fine. So we're in pretty good shape. We can do the same thing with this if we wanted to. Click it there, and just put it in Mi. We do have a re natural that we need to make into a re sharp. Not a problem, but now listen to this. Oh, sorry. Mistake. This was supposed to be there. I'm not listening as I'm writing. That's what you do when you're not hearing things, is you make mistakes. Okay? So let's listen to our little invention so far. Okay. This should be an 8th note. Okay, I find this a little bit annoying that it slows down to 8th notes here, so I'm going to add a trill right here. Will it play the trill? I don't know, but I'm going to add the trill there. And therefore I need to add the corresponding trill when we get to that same place later on. Okay, so anyway, I think you see that we're off and running, and now we could continue this whole process of just having this be now in the new key. So we had this measure, which is the corresponding of this measure, so we can go ahead and we can, if we wanted to, we can paste this in there like that. Watch, poor Bach had to write all these out by hand. We need to put this in. We need to now make this sharp because we're in. So let's make our raise sharp, and this should actually work out just fine. Poor Bach. So now this measure is the corresponding measure. This measure is the corresponding measure of this. So we could just click and paste that down an octave and make our raise sharp. And I think this would work unless I miss anything. Let's play it in here. Okay, so if you are like me, you heard a few sour notes in there, which were obviously places where I forgot to make the re sharp. So let's make all of these rays sharp in here because we are in Mi. Good. If you want, you can select more than one of it at a time. Select this one, then I can command select this one, and then when I go like this, both of them will get made sharp. Oh, missed one. All these little rays. Sibelius even has a way to search for all of your rays so that you can make them all sharp. Anyway, so let's listen from here again, from the transpose version. Okay, so we are off and running. Now would be the perfect place to begin a what? Yes, an episode. We can stop having